Okay, y'all, there is absolutely no denying this is the best Mission Impossible movie, at least out of these first 6 films. What's up, you guys? It's Jonathan Carter, and today we are kicking off our 6th entry in the road to Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning with Mission Impossible Fallout.
The fallout of all your good intentions.
I first saw Mission Impossible when it came out in the theaters, and at that point, that was the third Mission Impossible movie I'd seen. I had seen Mission Impossible 3 and Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol, skipped Rogue Nation, and then saw Fallout in the theaters solely because one of my friends saw it in theaters. She said it was like one of the best movies she'd ever seen and was like, you have to go see it. And so I did, and I remember then seeing in theaters being like, this is a really, really, really good, not even like Mission Impossible movie, just very good action movie in general. So before we kick off this review of Mission Impossible Fallout, please be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify. If you like podcast versions of reviews, I do those over on Spotify, and shorter versions of reviews over on Instagram and TikTok. All that being said, without further ado, let's jump into the review. So, like I said right at the beginning of this video, this is hands down, at least out of these first 6 Mission Impossible movies, this is the best one.
Nice.
Everything about this movie, like, that makes other Mission Impossible movies so good, like what they're known for, Tom Cruise, action, stunts, globe trotting, all of that. Every level of Mission Impossible, like each of those departments, everything like that of the movie is operating to its peak, like in every single level of the film. This is like the tightest, most like slick the writing has ever been in a Mission Impossible movie. This is easily the most interesting story of a Mission Impossible movie, at least so far, where you have this story of somehow 6 movies in a franchise. We are still learning more about Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt's character, where at the beginning of this movie, Luther, Benji, and Ethan are on this mission, and the mission goes sideways because Ethan won't complete the mission if it means that Luther, who gets held captive, is going to die. Ethan would literally rather abandon and screw up the mission than let one of his friends die.
I didn't know what else to do.
Because of that, the plutonium is the plot of this movie is basically nuclear war, where the villain who comes back from Rogue Nation wants to cut off food and water and all that from 1/3 of the world using these like plutonium devices. So Ethan and his team have hold of those devices at the beginning of this movie, and then because Luther gets held captive, Ethan abandons the plutonium, saves his friend, and we have the plot to Mission Impossible Fallout, where everything goes sideways solely because Ethan would not let one of his friends die instead of letting the mission be successful. He would rather let it go sideways, and that we are learning, and we have already known that, but it's stated in this movie, is the type of person that Ethan is. He will protect his friends. He will not let them die, even if it means screwing up the mission. So playing opposite of that type of person is Henry Cavill in not only one of the best characters in a Mission Impossible movie, but also maybe Henry Cavill's best performance of all time. Henry Cavill gives that like iconic like fist like reload that apparently Tom Cruise saw that behind the scenes and was like, yeah, we need that in the movie. So cool. I mean, it doesn't like really like make any sense, but when you do see it, it is really phenomenal. It's like you're like, you wanna watch the movie again, like just to see that. Like you wanna rewind the movie, or if you were in theaters, like you would go see it again just to catch that like you blink and you'll miss it moment. Speaking of that fist reload with Henry Cavill, segueing into the action here in Fallout, like that bathroom fight. This is the best fight choreography, like the tightest fight choreography, cleanest fight choreography we've had in any Mission Impossible movie. It feels raw, it feels real, and I also really appreciate that Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill were game to let their characters get beat up in this movie.
My back. Oh, my back.
You don't always see that in big Hollywood movies where like a series like The Fast and Furious where rumored Vin Diesel, Jason Statham, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock and all that, like don't want their characters to get that beat up on screen because they're worried it'll, I don't know, tarnish or, you know, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is with that. But Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill didn't care about that at all. And they were like, yeah, we will get beat up in this movie. And that's what makes especially this Mission Impossible movie so good. Are the stakes are so high and you genuinely like do not know what is going to happen in this movie. Speaking of that, like characters of friends of Ethan, we get Benji returning, Luther, and thankfully Ilsa, who was like the best part of Rogue Nation. What this movie does with Ethan's character and Ilsa, where again, it really plays again on that dynamic, like will they, won't they? The fact that like towards the end of the movie, when they bring Ethan's wife back, Julia.
Julia?
Is that...
They do this movie does this really beautiful thing where they have Julia appear randomly and help with the mission in a sense, even though she's not planning on doing that. But more importantly, it beautifully ends, like naturally comes to a close, Ethan and Julia's marriage, where they are saying like to each other and for themselves that it's okay for them to move on. They are happy and they are allowed to be happy, which means like they can go and be with other people. Julia gives him the okay to move on and Ilsa is right there. I ship Ethan and Ilsa so hard, you guys. I think it's a really beautiful ending where everything kind of comes together and the closure and like also like leaving it open-ended for the next one, which we do know there are 2 more at least after this. But it cannot be stated enough how much from Rogue Nation they really stepped their game up with Fallout. Like this is not only the best Mission Impossible movie, at least so far, this is one of the best action movies of all time, you guys. This is one, like regardless if you haven't seen any of the other Mission Impossible movies or don't even plan on seeing the next ones, just watch this movie. Like you can pick up enough, like the movie kind of holds your hand enough, like who these characters are for you to pick up on that. This movie is like downright phenomenal, you guys. This is a very good movie. As I was watching it the other night and just fully focused in on the screen and I was like, how, like this jump from Rogue Nation, this is like what the Dark Knight is to Batman Begins. Totally upped the game of the Mission Impossible series, kind of almost out of the blue. So wrapping this up with the verdict, like I've said before, like I've been saying in the review, incredibly well-made movie, you guys. I loved everything about this film. It is like near perfect for me, and with that being said, I'm gonna give Mission Impossible Fallout a 9.5 out of 10. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below about Fallout. Is it your favorite in the series like it is mine, or at least so far? Is it your least favorite somehow? I mean, I guess that could be possible. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Put all your thoughts below in the comments, and as always, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.